You don't want to sit back tomorrow and regret you had a born or you had taught your child some things earlier. You don't want to be like those parents that keep saying, oh my God, like one girl told me that if her mother know what she does outside there, the mother will kill herself because the mother keeps feeling she's a good child. You have to, as a mother, if you have not started doing this thing, then you are doing something very wrong. It is high time we start telling our children and teaching our children about their body parts, types of their body. It is high time we start telling our kids what each part of their body represents. It is high time we start talking to our children about sex. It is high time we start informing the children. See, if you don't teach these kids, society will. We are in the age of technology. Any child can get any information. And if you don't, society will teach them the wrong way. Now, a 1-year-old child is supposed to know, oh, because from 6 months, these kids, they already start learning. Some kids learn at a fast pace, some at a slow pace. From 1 year, you're supposed to start telling your child's supposed to know some parts of their body. Now, the way you talk to a child, a 1-year-old, about parts of her or his body is different from the way you talk to a 5 years. The way you talk to a 5-year-old child about part of his or her body is different from how you talk to a 10-year-old. The way you talk to a 10-year-old is different from how you talk to a 15-year-old. Like the way the child age increases, now that's how you grow. That's how you grow. That's how you get deeper into the discussion. Because I see like it's a problem for me, right? Teaching in a primary school and having kids of 15 years, 16 years, not knowing what a pad is, or not knowing why they are having some discharge, or not knowing why they are seeing their period was a problem for me. I had to start sitting down to do the job of many parents. Like, we are not in that stone age anymore that our parents tend to like ignore, or they don't want to talk about this because they feel like it's an abomination. It is not an abomination. You have to create a bond with these kids. These are things that make them create a bond. These are things. I had a child who was having some discharge and she didn't understand. She didn't know who to talk to. She had to come to me and she was like, Auntie, I've been having this stuff and I don't know who to talk to. And I wanted to take her to the hospital, right? But I invited her mother and the mother never showed up. I wanted to take her to a hospital, but I was like, I asked some people and they're like, if you take her to a hospital, what will people say you took her to go and do? That they might start reading wrong meanings and everything. I had to start telling her some things she has to do on her own, which is wrong. That is the job of a mother. Stop feeling that, oh, if I don't tell my child this, they will not have a mental picture. No, it is good you start preparing these kids. I used to have a biology teacher, Mrs. Azie. She used to say, her daughter was 5 years old, and the day her daughter saw a condom in her bag, she had to tell the guy, this is what mommy and daddy use in doing this. It is not that time. We are not in that age where a child comes to you and asks you, like, mommy, how do you produce, how do they produce kids? Or you like, don't talk about that. Or a child comes to meet you and say, mommy, what is sex? And you're like, God forbid, where did you hear that from? We are no more in that age. If you're in that age, then you have been left behind. So it is high time you start telling these kids their body parts, what this one does, what this one does. And you have to also teach these kids how, if anybody comes to touch them or touch their private, what they should do. I used to have an auntie who taught her daughter that whenever somebody comes to touch her, somebody is touching her, somebody of the opposite sex or even somebody of the same sex is touching her, that she should scream. And I also had one who taught the child a song that the child had to sing, my private is my own, my private is not for share. I decided, she wrote that song and pasted it on the child's wardrobe every morning when that child wake up. That's after the child says her prayers. That's the first thing the child see. I had a guy of 32 years confide in me that his nanny, the nanny, raped him when he was young, but he never told anybody because he never understood the whole concept. He never knew, how will I tell my mom, how will I tell my dad that my nanny raped me? If you don't have this bond, if you don't teach these children this, how do they talk? See, you ignoring or not teaching these children this, you are silencing them. You are taking their voice from them. But when you inform these kids, when you build them, when you teach them, when you teach your 1-year-old, when you teach your 5 years old, and see, the beautiful thing is that they are different. See, as their age grow, you give them different knowledge. You teach them, you go deeper. There are books. They sell books, they share books, their information. Now these days they are making doll. I saw one doll that somebody made on Instagram. It was so, like, it was for educational purpose. You can use this to demonstrate to your kids. It is your, I know it is not easy, but it is your job as parents to mold these children, to build them. You are their first teacher. In sociology, they will say that a parent is a child first teacher. A child is born into this world empty. So you mold your child the way you want it. Don't allow society mold your child. It is an error when your daughter or your son cannot come to you and talk to you about what is happening in their body and they go outside. A child was not menstruating and it is hard, or a child that's not menstruating finds it difficult to talk to her mom, but decides to go and talk to an outsider about it. It is a big problem. You might say, oh, I don't have time, I'm busy. Who are you? See, at the end of the day, I ask parents this one question: who are you working for? They'll be like, I'm working for my kids. And I'm like, if those kids start living a wayward life, or those kids become things that you're not proud of, what do you gain from all your years of toiling? Think about this today. You don't want to sit back tomorrow and regret you had a born, or you had taught your child some things earlier. You don't want to be like those parents that keep saying, oh my God, like one girl told me that if her mother know what she does outside there, the mother will kill herself, because the mother keeps feeling she's a good child. You have to talk to these children. Sometimes you have to tell them, oh, is there anybody that you find attractive? Like, it depends on the age of the child. Is there anybody you find attractive? You have to have this conversation. You are there to guide them. Don't scold them. Parenting is not all about yelling and yelling and yelling and shouting. No, build bonds. Draw these kids close to you. Be your kid's best friend. Be that cool mom. Yes. Remember, you can not see, don't spare the rod, because the Bible said if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. But when you use the rod, you also use your left hand to use the rod. Then you use your right hand to draw that child back to you. Don't push your kids away. Help a child, inform a child today and save the society. When you help a child, you save the society. When you teach your daughters how to behave, when you teach your daughters about their body parts, when you teach your son how to behave, you are saving the society. You are helping us not raise monsters. I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope you share this video to every other person, and I hope you would also inform me on more ways we can teach on help our children by sharing in the comments, and give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. This channel needs to grow, and this channel needs to reach a lot of people. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.